welcome to the B Team Podcast. I am your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our permanent guest,
Rob Nelson.
We're here every week to talk to you about all things Bentonville, bourbon, and business. The B Team Podcast. Be here. Welcome to the B Team Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Safran, with our permanent alternate,
Jim.
We don't have a co-host, and we don't have a permanent guest today.
I'll tell you what, I feel a lot of pressure today. I've always been like, the third wheel, and really the fourth wheel that occasionally gets a third wheel seat at the table. Today, I'm like,
sometimes you're like the spare tire,
co-pilot today. I'm in the passenger seat.
Batman and Robin.
I'm with the map. I'm going to make sure you make.
To be honest, I'm wondering if this is like a mutiny and he's trying to take over first wheel position.
I'm definitely not.
Well, no. So we're almost finishing season 2, and our co-host is nowhere to be found today, and our permanent guest is nowhere to be found. So we're interviewing, and we're going to talk about you because maybe you'll slide in and class up season 3.
Oh, wow. How excellent would that be?
That would be amazing. We're here every Thursday for all things business, Bentonville, and bourbon.
Okay.
And before we start, we always drink a little bit of bourbon.
Okay.
This is Fireball, but not Fireball. This is the new Fireball Blazing Apple.
Okay.
Now, if you haven't tried this yet before, which
I have not.
I'm not a Fireball fan.
Not a fan.
But
No, I actually am. I'm actually a big Fireball fan.
now this has got a whole lot of apple pie taste.
Okay.
I am a fizz.
So normally we drink it out of the bottle, but I'm kind of trying to class it.
Let's be classy. I mean, we're classy folks, at least
Stay classy.
before 5. Okay. I do
smell that.
apple.
Holy moly, apple.
Actually, I think it smells flipping delicious.
Cheers.
To me, it smells like a caramel apple.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's good.
Yeah, right. It's very good.
I think that's really
I do
good.
too.
But it's not as spicy as the typical Fireball. It's a little bit smoother.
No, not nearly as much of the fire cinnamon thing. It's much.
Yeah, no, it smells
apple
cinnamon.
pie.
Yes.
Look more apple
Much better. Shout out to
I also
Lisa.
I want a candle that smells like this.
Well,
Yeah.
we're going to get into, because you're like into everything. Maybe you'll start a candle business.
You know what? I'm one of those people that has ideas and I don't know how to do anything part way. I'm not very good at being like, let's just dip our toe in. I either like dive in head first or I don't bother.
Well, we're diving in.
I got to be honest. I have not done the pre-read, Josh.
Well, I'm going to...
Josh usually, for those of you not familiar with the background of the podcast, Josh usually sends a 4 to 5 page pre-read.
Oh,
for every
no.
guest.
Now,
I gave him 2 sentences.
she did give it to... Well, in fairness, because we're going to talk about your networking. Last night, we hosted my networking event. So we can talk a little bit about that, because it's always all about me.
Thanks for the invite.
It's a huge charity event. We raised $100,000.
Okay, so tell me who it was for.
So we do it's called Gents Giving. My wife and I own a barbershop called the Gents Place up here in Northwest Arkansas. And every year we partner with Dave Mars from the HGTV show Fixer to Fabulous. And we do a 140-person bourbon tasting steak and shrimp dinner.
I saw photos. Okay.
And last night we had an incredible turnout, high level executives. I mean, and we raised a lot of money. Half the proceeds go to pancreatic cancer and half goes to a veterans charity. And so
Okay, pancreatic, I love that. Okay.
it's amazing. So we'll have to get you involved with your
sorry.
influential status.
Don't love pancreatic cancer. Let me be clear.
Good clarification.
Much better.
Well done.
Because that sounded terrible.
I love rotten tooth decay, right?
Yeah, no, I love that you're raised, like that's something that could use a lot of awareness. Actually, I've taken care of patients that had pancreatic cancer. It's awful.
It is.
It's devastating. And raising funds for something that's not as well known, not as common, that's fantastic. I love it.
And we've been doing it for a long time, and community and networking, that's what we're all about. And then all of a sudden, in comes you out of complete left field. So Queenie B, I haven't introduced you to her. She's got almost 6,000 followers on Facebook.
How many followers do you have on Facebook, John?
About 60, and she's got about 6,000. So she's
How many does the B Team podcast have?
about 6. So 6, 60, and 6,000.
That's 666. Yeah.
So founder, CEO of Queenie Connects, which was a dating thing at one
Okay,
point.
yeah.
Right?
So
Well, hold on before I'm going to go through. And then NWA Networking Alliance. So she's got all kinds of stuff going on. And before I put you on, so when you and I started the networking, because we're old, it was like, hey, you work at Sam's Club, let's go out and do a charity event. She's taken networking like to a whole different.
yeah, I'm trying different. We're going for different. Yeah. So a little bit of my background. So I'm a nurse practitioner by trade. I work at Body Balance. So I'm doing like, the Botox, the fillers, the weight loss, all that stuff. So that's my.
None of those things that you need, things that we need.
Oh no, I have no Botox in my face. course.
She looks
100% natural.
All this stuff.
So I work at Body Balance, fantastic
Shout out to
business.
Body Balance.
Yeah.
Where's Body Balance?
So it's in Fayetteville. Yeah, but we do concierge services, so we'll come to you. So yeah, fantastic. If you don't want to come to the clinic to get your Botox, let's do it on the DL. We'll come to you. So it's fantastic. But okay, so I work at Body Balance. I'm a nurse practitioner. I've been in medicine for, well, let's say that I've been in medicine since I was in my 20s, so like 10 years ago.
So like, I was going to say 5.
Yeah, thank you. For a hot minute. But I am a person with my background, which I said that I was going to shock you. So here's my attempt, and maybe I'll fail.
Drum roll. Be shocked.
So I was raised in a cult.
I'm shocked.
That is not what you expected me to say, is it?
No.
So yeah, I mean, some say it's a pseudo cult, some say it's a legit cult. I guess it's a matter of opinion. But yeah, I was raised in a situation where I was extremely sheltered. So I was homeschooled. We lived in the country. If you have heard of the all too famous in our area Duggars,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
not a Duggar,
Never heard of them.
but raised in a similar situation with a lot of sort of restriction. Children are to be seen and not heard. Women are to stay in the home. Men are to make the financial decisions. A lot.
Kind of like how it's in your house.
It's something similar. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Shout out to Corey.
Yeah. So.
Absolutely kill me for saying somewhat yes.
And my parents were great, loving. I was always safe. I was, but yeah, a lot of isolation growing up. Really, really tremendous isolation. And so, we went to church on Sundays and we went to town on Wednesdays and went to the grocery store and stuff. But yeah, not a lot of room for.
Was that in Arkansas?
Yeah.
It would have to be, right?
Yeah.
Duggars
Yep.
are
Yeah.
relatively, I must say, I've never seen an episode. What's their show called?
Well, it's not on anymore. I think it was called like 19 Kids Accounting, then it was 20 Kids Accounting, then it was.
Okay. I've never seen it, but I've heard of the Duggars.
So the Duggars were members of something called IBLP. My parents weren't actually members of IBLP, but we went into a church that was really strongly affiliated, so it's complicated.
IBLP.
But so Institute of Basic Life Principles, which was overseen by Bill Gothard. Bill Gothard has been in some trouble for inappropriate. What's the word with the teenage girls?
Well,
said a lot of allegations made against him, but so that's been dissolved.
Okay.
But that's how I was raised. So going back to, so that's how I was raised. So very sort of isolated and growing up in a situation where I didn't really believe that women weren't supposed to have educations and control of the finances. Like I was trying to swallow with Neo, was it the red pill or the blue pill? But I never really could. I never could believe it, all the things I was being told, but I tried hard. So it wasn't until I was probably 30 that I sort of started making the really complicated disentangling of what do I truly believe and what do I truly want to be a part of, and left the cult, left the church, and
It's hard.
that's how shocking it was.
It's shocking.
And my story is waxing poetic. I'll speed it up. But yeah, left the church. But I think sort of because of the way I was raised and because of that sort of isolated background, I've always had a very big heart for building of community, for helping people to feel like they belong, that they're part of something, that they're cherished, they're important. That's really big for me. And so I've started a couple organizations. One of them is a nonprofit called Gownsational, where we get prom gowns from your closet or formal gowns from your closet into the hands of underprivileged teens.
Wonderful.
Work a lot with DHS and teens that could never afford expensive gowns, but they're just sitting in someone's closet. So, and then I started a singles group called Queenie Connects. And then most recently, as a small business owner, I sort of just noticed the lack of support that small business owners sort of had as we're grinding and we're working so hard and we're trying to, make our make people believe in our product, whatever that is. And so I started a networking group. So that's when we get to where I met you.
Yep.
Yeah. So I started the networking group. I sort of
And it's new, right? Newish?
Yeah. So I sort of had an event in September 23rd. We had, it was like, I'll do a singles networking thing. And then someone convinced me that this is going to be big. I don't think you want to do just singles. So on October 2nd or 3rd
Like of this year? Like a
of
month
this year,
ago?
so 5 weeks ago.
Jeez.
So 5 weeks ago, I started a networking Facebook group. I called it the NWA Networking Alliance. And I actually started it one day at night. You know, some of the best things are when you're drinking a glass of wine late at night and you're like, I'm going to start a networking group. And then I went to bed and I kind of forgot about it. And 2 days later, I came and we had like 400 members. I was like, I didn't even tell anyone I was starting this. How do we have 400 members already? And so, yeah, I started building it up. That was 5 weeks ago. As of today, we have 6,300 members in the networking group. We have, as of last night, 1 million group views. We have, I want to say, a half a dozen members that have posted, small business owners that have posted an intro in the group page that has gotten 50, 75, 100, greater than 50,000 views. And probably 2 dozen that have greater than 20,000 views.
And is this centered up in Northwest Arkansas specifically? Is it broader than that?
So it's called NWA Networking Alliance. It's a public group, so I'm not necessarily approving or approving people. So anyone can join, but we haven't done any advertising whatsoever other than talk.
It's amazing. Like I posted on this, so I kept hitting me on Facebook. I'm seeing it. And I'm starting to know some of the people on there because some of these things typically are younger, 20-ish people. And I'm like, it's the saddest thing. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I start seeing, I'm like, I know that person. So 4 days ago, I put something about the B Team podcast and I had a picture of the podcast, said, hey, this is what we do. The amount of people that liked, responded, and then DM'd me
put it on
this page.
Okay.
And I was like, and like, it was good quality people. So this business and this business and this business, I was like, because we've been finding the right people to come in here. And this group has incredible reach. I was like floored. And I'm shocked.
A million.
Future guests, it sounds like.
Yes.
We're not going to have a tough time filling guest seats anymore. If
I'm telling you,
learning about it.
Just think about 1 million views in 5 weeks, guys.
What was like, did you boost anything? Did you push anything? Is it all
paid $0 and 0 cents. I have done, this is completely organic.
How did it go so fast? Like, do you have any thoughts behind that? I mean, other than the fact that you're amazing. There you go.
Well, so I know I've started like the singles group, and I had a mom's single moms group. So I kind of know a little bit what it takes to make a Facebook group work. I understand some things that I think that people don't, and I have implemented those here, and it worked obviously very well. And part of it is because it is a public group. Okay, so when you have a private group, only people that are in the group can see any of the posts, can see that anyone's posting in it. This is a public group.
That's why I kept showing up on my feed.
So even though you're not in the group, you're seeing the group because your friends are commenting on it. Mm-hmm. Now, this comes with downsides, right? Because if it's public, I'm not stopping people from joining, which means if someone from overseas is a spam bot, they have a way to get in. So there's negatives associated.
But also anybody can comment and say whatever they want, which you can then pull off, right, as the admin.
Yes. Yes, I can remove stuff, yeah. But so there's negatives associated with it, but the positives associated with having a public group are, like you said, I'm not even in this group, but I keep seeing these posts. The same thing if you see memes that are popular, like Facebook is going to recommend things that they think that you're interested in, and Facebook thought you're interested in networking groups, so it was showing these things to you, and that's how we've reached that many groups. So even if you post an intro in the group, everyone in the group is going to see it, but so many other people are as well, and it's going to make them want to join the group. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's great. Before we go further here, I want to talk about the dating one, because that's still active as well. That's Queenie Connects. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so it's called Queenie Connects.
Yep.
It's so I say this, and so it's a singles social group, not a dating group.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Now let me be abundantly clear. When you get a bunch of singles together, guess what happens? Like a lot of dating.
Yes.
But actually, the purpose of it is not to be a dating group. We don't do matchmaking. We don't do speed dating. None of that. This is about singles that are in the same phase, because we know as, for instance, small business owners, how powerful it is to connect with other people that have something big in common with you. Like we both small business owners, for instance. Yep. We both have kids that play soccer. We know whatever it is. Same thing for singles. Like it's great to sort of socialize with other people that are single. It was mainly people 35 plus, so a lot of them had been through divorces. And it's very soothing and comforting to hang out with other people that have been where you are if you're struggling or if you're thriving at either way.
So Jim and I won't dwell too much on this, but Jim and I were divorced 10 years ago. 10 years. So we were probably in our early and mid 40s at the time.
Yes.
But you have a podcast together?
Well, again, I am just a fourth wheel that occasionally.
Oh, you weren't married to each other?
No.
Oh.
Sorry. No. We were not married.
We're going to cut that. You said we were married 10 years ago.
We were married, not to each other. For those at home, Jim and I have beautiful lives. Nothing wrong with that lifestyle, but Jim and
I was not picking up on any of that.
I will back that up. Well, I do love him. Watch this spinning. I do love Jim.
Oh, okay.
But that's as far as it goes. We don't even get to first base.
You were just simultaneously divorced from other people.
Correct.
Okay.
And we were in our early 40s, best of friends, and dating here. We were like, how do you date? I know this girl. Oh, well, there's 6 single guys, and all the single guys know her, so you can't date her.
Yeah.
And I was like, had this been here when I was single, maybe.
Oh my gosh, it has been tremendously successful. I want to say, so it's been a little over a year. I think we've had eight couples engaged or married.
That's incredible.
Endless.
In a year?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Because there's something, so I have a lot of weaknesses. I mean, the list is just endlessly long.
Yeah. Jim has more than me.
I have a couple of strengths, and understanding what makes people comfortable in group settings and makes people comfortable connecting is sort of one of my strengths. My dad was the same way. And so doing these group events where there's no pressure, it's not a date, it's not a dating group, this is a social group. You show up with 0 expectations. You don't have to put on your finest. You don't have to impress anyone. I mean, the idea of dating apps, for instance, are fundamentally flawed because first off, it's all about their photo. That's problem number 1, right? You're making every assumption based on their photo, which may or may not be accurate. But and then you go on a first date where there's so much pressure. I've got to impress this girl. I've got to impress this guy. I've got to be on my best behavior. Who's going to pay? Are we going to go to the next place? What if they're not enjoying it? This is just a group setting. You just show up and you hang out with friends. It's the way that we all met our people the first time around, and it's so much more effective than awkward first blind dates. Yeah.
I got to be honest. So my wife, Corey, shout out to Corey. She was single for 10 years in Northwest Arkansas before we met each other about 9 years ago. And we were married a little over 8 years ago. And I'm just grateful this didn't exist 15 years ago, because it sounds like it would be an easier way. She said dating in this area was very difficult.
Oh, it was.
We met each other through work.
Yeah.
But if we hadn't, and she had been on a site like this, she probably would have found someone far better than me.
Well, I'll tell you, it does make a difference, and he knows this. But I am my own success story. So in the group, I met a wonderful man named Michael. I met him as shout out Michael.
Shout out Michael.
Yeah.
And he knows this, so I'm not telling any secrets. I had swiped left. He does not take good selfies. Bless his heart. And when you're judging someone, really based upon a photo where he was not worrying about the angles or the lighting or whatever. And
because he's a guy. He's like, hey.
Yeah. Especially the guys. Yeah. The women, we do the opposite, where it's like, okay, she doesn't look like this because she made herself look with the filters. But, and I had swiped left. And so then when I met him in person, it was so different. And so, I met him at his first event, which incidentally, I started the group under the pseudonym Queenie B. No one knew that Becky was Queenie B. I sort of didn't want any attention, the irony of that. I didn't want any attention, so I started under the pseudonym Queenie B. So Becky would go to events, but Becky didn't want the pressure of being Queenie B. So I met him as Becky. He didn't know who I was. No one did at the time. And we started.
Becky is Queenie B.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
You're following the one at all.
Becky is my name. Yeah. And so I hadn't come out publicly yet. And then, I met him and we started dating for a time. And then eventually I told him we've been dating a month or 2, I think. And then I was like,
I have a secret. So he's like, I have a secret for you.
Yeah.
You have a kid? Are you bi? Do you, no, I'm actually Queenie B.
Yeah. Like I'm actually the one who started the group that we met in. And he's like, wait, what?
That's funny.
All right. Question.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name Queenie B?
Yeah. If I'd known, I probably would have chosen a different name. So I was sitting in bed late at night with a glass of wine. I'm like, this dating app sucks. I'd broken up with the guy who would say, this sucks. I'm going to start a dating group. I'm not a dating group. look at what I've
Just set a dating group.
A social.
I'm going to start a social group for singles. And so I started this group and I was like, well, I want to start, I don't want, and but I didn't think anyone would care. I mean, how many businesses do you take advantage of their product? You have no idea who created this. I don't know who created Aquafina. And so I thought, well, I'm going to start this group, Queenie Connects.
Talk about the Aquafina.
Yeah, the name of the group was not Queenie Connects at the time. It was NWA Desirable Singles, which is a horrible name, but whatever. And I know. And then Queenie B was running it, but I thought no one's going to know who I am. No one's going to care. Well, I guess because it was a mystery, it became like, ooh, who's the girl like that's running the group and commenting on posts? We don't know who she is. And it became sort of a mystery. And so Queenie's character, the character of Queenie, became very big very fast. I actually did Queenie B because my name's Becky, B-E, right? So that's the B part. That's
Okay.
easy. But the queen part is because I was a mystery. I was actually thinking of a chessboard, and the queen's the only one that can move in any direction, right?
That's true.
No one knows who the queen is. So I wanted to call myself the queen. Facebook wouldn't let me. I tried to call myself queen. Yeah. Anyway, so I ended up with Queenie B, and then it was the queen of the chessboard.
Now, do all these new people, do they know you as Becky? Do people know you as Queenie B?
People call me Queenie B.
So crazy.
Yeah. So my profile is getting a lot of attention, and they know me as Queenie B, but I answered both. I would say, call me whatever you want, just don't call me late for dinner.
Now, do you have a Queenie B page and a Becky page? Like,
I do, yeah.
Okay.
So I have like a public Queenie B page, a profile on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and then I have a private, Becky page, where I push the photos of my kiddos, and it's just close friends.
All right. So you and Michael met on this social.
Yeah. So we met at his. It was the group was only a month old. Okay. I met him, and we've been together ever since.
So what does he feel about meeting Becky and getting to know her better, but also dating Queenie B, who's running this site?
It's a lot, and there's a lot of people that couldn't put up with it. There's been some negativity. Anytime you get attention, you get negativity, I think, sadly, and there's been a lot, but he's just remained steadfast. And
what's the negativity that you've gotten? Because
as Queenie B, well, you name it. There's
haters gonna hate.
Yep. And people that see you being successful. If your podcast goes viral, people are going to hate you for that.
No worries there, buddy.
But there's a lot of...
Well, Queenie B may get to 20
views. Who knew?
You might get to 20 views.
So there's a variety of reasons, and I don't try not to focus on all of that. But yeah, there's just people that get removed from the group. So like if people came in and they were being inappropriate or being over, making other people uncomfortable or any number of things, right?
You're the bad guy.
I would remove them. Mm-hmm. Then they would get mad. And usually when they're removed, it's because they're unstable people, right? When they're unstable people, they get removed from something they're enjoying. They get a little bit aggressive.
And you hate to say this, but some people are single because...
So some people are single for a reason, right? And so when you remove them, they don't like it. And those are the ones that tend to be the squeakiest wheels.
So how do you make the transition from social singles to business?
Well, so Queenie had gotten a bit of a name for herself as a singles a connector of singles, and was pretty successful at that, to be honest. Like my events, it was singles between these ages that live in Washington or Benton County. So that was my criteria. I was very strict on who was allowed in the group. If you are 2 feet out of Washington or Benton County, you do not qualify. If you're outside of this age range, 22 to 64. So
this was a private group. This was
a private group. No. So no. Yeah. So, I would deny a lot of people, and most of them because they didn't live in Washington or Benton County. But I wanted it to be like, if you're meeting your friends, I want us to all live next to each other. And so most of the people I declined were because they were not in the area, or they were outside the age range. But yeah, so I was doing events, and I had an event at Topgolf in July just for singles, and we had 150, I think.
Wow.
And then
no cost attends. Topgolf is donating, giving them.
I'm sure they had to pay to play the golf.
So with Topgolf, it's oh my gosh. First off, hats off to Topgolf, Jeff at Topgolf. Please, I love him. We've done events there. They have been incredibly.
On the podcast.
You think of these big franchises, they're not going to care about me. But they were gracious, they were kind, they were accommodating. So we would pay, like we had to guarantee that we were going to pay this much, right? But we were doing there on weekdays too, like a Tuesday night or whatever. So yeah, I mean, they were great. And then, but I did events all over the place. I did events at Goat Lab or The Bend or, Mermaids, any number of places. So I tried to use locally, but then locally owned venues, we got bigger and bigger and I couldn't find any big enough. So then we eventually ended up at Topgolf. So yeah, that's where I did my event in September, which is a singles networking event. And then it was very successful, like I said. And someone's like, you really need to open the door to more than singles for this networking. Well, Michael was one of the ones that gave me that advice. And I was like, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to give it a go.
I don't blame Michael for steering away from being in the singles side.
Yes, because
that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Only because he wants to spend time with you.
Yeah. So I got some of this advice, and I kind of ruminated, and then finally, apparently I agreed because I made this networking group, and then 5 weeks later,
group call.
NWA Networking Alliance.
So it has nothing to do with the Queenie B.
No, so it's not associated. I tell people, there's the trunk of the tree is Queenie B. And then there's Gownsational, which is my prom gown.
Getting the problem.
Nonprofit. Okay. Then there's the, Queenie Connects, which is the singles group. And then now is the newest branch of the tree is the Networking Alliance. But none of them, I don't expect any of the networking people to wear prom gowns. I don't expect any of the singles people to, re-roof my house. So, completely separately, but under my umbrella.
All right. So the question everybody wants to know is, how are you able to make money on this, or is there a way to make yourself more financially stable through this operation? Are you doing it all for goodwill? Like, how are you profiting from this personally?
Yeah. Well, when I started Gowntastic, when I started the singles group, when I started the Networking Alliance, the goal was never, I'm a nurse practitioner. I have a stable career. I didn't need to create a new way to make money. I can make money. So that was not originally the goal. What I have learned, and then with Queenie Connects, I never made any money. It was a subscription group.
Social thing.
Yeah, well, I had a little subscription. The people had to pay because I had overhead costs. It was like $12 to $15 a month. But I didn't make money under Queenie Connects. The thing with the Networking Alliance is that it has expanded so incredibly much, so incredibly quickly that it's going to be impossible for it to not bring in, so I'm working on sponsorship.
You should, because
it could be a full-time job for 3 to 4 people.
Well, not only that,
5 weeks.
But you're now an influencer, right? You're meeting tons of people.
It's crazy.
Your brand is growing so rapidly. But like the BNI and those types of things, like this is you're familiar with the BNI?
Shout out to BNI.
They're
oh my
great.
Gosh. Mob, CRN. I've been to a couple of those networking events. They are doing a lot of things very right.
But I've been to BNI events. It's like a local marketing thing where you meet every week, you pay a fee, and then like the local plumber is introducing you to the local barbershop who's introducing you.
And refer you.
All referrals, which is very cool. I don't want to say it's antiquated because it's very present.
It's like it's the old school way to do it.
Yes, and what you're doing here is you've got this social media following where, again, my friend put it on there, and I'm watching, and the business coming in and the referrals. Mm-hmm. So at some point, you should be able to capitalize upon it. There's nothing wrong with that, right? You should be able to make some money.
Yeah, I think the big thing, I keep going back to, it's only been 5 weeks and people are saying, what's this? And I'm like, I got to build some structure. I've got to build some, organization. I'm assembling a board of advisors. But yes, the goal is that eventually this would be sustainable. I'm super, and I've said it 1,000 times, I'll keep saying it. I want any collaborations I do as Queenie, any collaborations I do with the networking group to be beneficial to both parties. I'm super honed in on that. So I do have sponsors. As a matter of fact, you're about to have on your podcast Stu's Clean Cooking.
Yes.
He's going to be, this is 3 weeks from now, right? He's going to be my title sponsor for the next event. So it just so happens that he was in the group page and went semi-viral. He's one of the ones that got well over 50,000 views. And so brought a lot of attention to him. And he's like, I'm so grateful. Like, you brought so much attention to my brand. And all I did was post an intro in your group. And I've had so many people that have messaged me that and be like, you've doubled my bottom line simply by me posting an intro in your group page.
This is fantastic because once our podcast gets somehow associated with us.
Oh, no, he posted an intro. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you got decent traction.
Huge traction, yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you right now exactly how many views your post got.
To the curb. They're out. If we become crazy popular,
she's about to be our
Yeah. Yeah.
Great toast.
So it's worked so beautifully well at creating traction for people that even though all they did was post a free post in a group page, it actually helped their business, which is what I want. Because here's the thing: some of these are tiny businesses with zero marketing budget.
Yep.
They posted my group page, and now maybe they go viral, get 50,000 views, and it's fantastic. I love that.
Yes, and so like I own a local barbershop called the Jen's Place. Shout out, have to always shout myself out. And
Okay, Jen's Place, is that? I feel like that's by Krabby's.
it's a little further up.
It's not the one by Krabby's.
Oh, okay. Let's be clear.
Lou's barbershop. They do a good job.
Not the one by Krabby's.
We're on Walton next to where Smashburger used to be, where Jimmy John's is, First Watch.
Yeah.
And then we just opened about a month ago on the Walmart campus, and we built a networking speakeasy into the barbershop. So it's a super cool spot.
Stop it.
Super cool. So I'm going to post on your site at some point.
Yeah.
However, when we opened and we've been open, it was like, all right, what do you want to do? Well, let's advertise in the movie theater. That was terrible.
Airport.
We did. Spent a lot of money advertising at the airport. And these are old traditional ways of marketing your brand. And what you're doing is you're moving out of the Stone Age into the whole new world.
Yeah. Well, and that is part of everything's virtual. How can we make networking virtual? And someone's like, well, I think we should just do one big Zoom call. And I'm like, you're thinking small. I want to think big. I want to create a space where you can meet and network virtually for free, which kind of sounds crazy. But thanks to, whatever you want to say about Mark Zuckerberg, he created something unbelievably wonderful, or in many ways, unbelievably wonderful. And that's what our goal is. Your marketing budget is zero. Your spare time is zero. You can't go to a networking event at 9 o'clock in the morning because you're freaking working at 9 o'clock in the morning. You're working hard at that time of day. So how can I create a space where you can still network without having to be anywhere at a certain time? That's my goal. And so that's why it was so important that we can get views on these posts. And it's working. I mean, as evidenced by the fact that 1 month after we opened the group page, we had our first meetup and 300 attendees.
But that's insane. I mean, I don't know if you're giving yourself enough credit. I mean, you deserve a lot of credit. That's insane. That typically takes 6 to 12 months to get that kind of traction.
Yeah, I am beyond grateful, and I'll take some credit. But what I also need to do is give a lot of credit, because while Queenie B is the face of the brand, by no means is this just me. Whether it's, Beth Franklin from Pretty and Ink is doing all of the approvals of the posts. We are getting, 50 posts submitted a day, and we're denying probably about half.
Yeah.
So how many people?
She denied our post.
How many people are on your team then? Because again, not knowing anything going into this, I figured you were just saying, all right, yes, all right, no. But clearly you have other people involved.
Oh, yeah, I can't.
How many people are involved in?
We have a couple moderators. Beth is the one that does most of the moderating, though actually Lindsay Sabatini at Body Balance, that I work with, another nurse practitioner, she's working in that. I'm bringing her on in that field as well. And then we have my bookkeeper's been helping. These are all volunteers, by the way. So, I tell people, please don't get upset at those that are denying the posts, because they're going through potentially 100 posts a day.
Beth shit canned my post, but she said it in a nice way. She said, hey, I'm not going to approve this until you do this. Okay. I just had to put a picture on. All she said is you need a picture.
Here's the thing.
Of me, the podcast. So I had me, Matt, and Rob.
So here's
right here.
Here's the thing.
But which was great.
I know what will get you seen and what will get you ignored. My goal, what is best for my business, is that your post is seen. So what Beth does beautifully and puts so much time and effort into it is she tells you how to get your post seen.
She was nice, pleasant.
Posts that are authentic, genuine, and have a photo of the business owner will get 10 times, 20 times, 50 times the traction of an ad. And the statistics behind that is Dan Klaus from Hub of Hope was telling me about this. He also owns Natural State Brewery, but he was telling me this. The average American is subjected to 5,000 to 10,000 ads a day. Here's one. here's one, like there's ads everywhere. And so our mind is now sort of glazing over those ads. We see so many of them, our feeds. So what Beth,
white noise.
It's white noise. So what Beth is doing is saying, don't give me an ad, give me you. Give me your authentic heart, because those are the ones I can show you. Every post that has gone viral in my page, every single one of them was simply a normal person talking from the heart. It was none of them were, here's an ad, look at it and buy from me. Because that's not what networking is, right? That's selling. What we're doing is networking, which is let's boost each other. So like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to talk to you on your post. Wow, this is great. I love what you're doing. And then you'll go and do it for me, and we're boosting each other. So that's what I'm big on.
So this is topical because you started with the social single site, the single social site. Josh and I have actually talked about starting a social site for people happier in their second marriages.
Okay.
So what advice would you give Josh and I if we were starting such a group on?
By the way, we have never talked about this, but
I'm drawing out coverage.
Okay, so is the second marriage the ticket? Because some people say it's the worst. Okay.
No.
Did you learn your lesson?
yes, we learned a lot.
No doubt. We've actually talked about that. So that's why we feel like we could teach people who are looking for that second marriage what to look for, gaps to fill, things like that. But in people who are again, let's say we're starting it tomorrow, what are the things we need to keep in mind to make it as viralable as
He wants to start a competitive site for you.
Yeah.
No, this isn't competitive. It's for people.
synergistic.
She's got singles people.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, I mean, you have to think about, this is what I think about, not what I want you to see, what you want to see. And there's a big difference in there. And so what I'm thinking about as I'm approving and declining posts is, what do you want to see as the consumer? Not what do I want you to see, because I want you to see an ad. But that's not what you want to see. You see thousands of them. And so that is what I would say I would focus on. Make posts that people are interested in, that get people that they want to respond to, ask questions that they want to respond to, ask for opinions that they can easily respond to, stuff like that. Makes a big difference.
Second marriage night at Topgolf. That'd be amazing.
Dude, write that down. Write it down.
Second marriage.
I think that was my idea. No, I'm just kidding.
And
This is your next thing. You're already going to move on to the next thing because you move so quickly. What is next after you're doing a name change? Is that
So, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. So, when I created this name, what I didn't take into account is whether it's trademarked somewhere or not, because, So there's a networking alliance, I think in Virginia or West Virginia. So, but also I feel like the name networking
works in West Virginia. It's got to be.
Surely not. This must be
they network within their own family?
Of course.
Yeah. So I
Shout
mean,
out to West.
I don't know if it's burdened or blessed with one of those creative minds that just is constantly coming up with ideas. So my ideas are endless. But yes, back to the name. I'm sorry. So we're changing the name, partly because I want the name to invoke the sense of community and collaboration as much as anything. Like, don't come in here to sell, come in here to boost others. And I promise you that will sell far more than coming in here to post an ad. We're coming up with a new name. And so what we've decided on is it's going to be Hive Networking.
Hive?
So Hive Networking.
What's the backstory?
Well, so think about a hive, like everyone's contributing. The hive is nothing as a single cell, but, a single hexagon. But if they all work together and they collaborate with one another, it's best.
Very smart.
Is this
best
a B
for all
Team
of them.
exclusive announcement? Are we like breaking news here? It's like,
This is going to go viral.
is this the first time it's been said anywhere, or has it been said?
So actually, I just recorded a video. So Brittany with Collab Design is working with me on my logo. We're working on it still. It's gorgeous. And she and I have been working on this name. And it's a name that we're going to announce probably before this podcast comes out. I'm sorry. But yeah, so it's Hive Network. Well, and it's a little nod to Queenie B, right? So,
Yes.
But the Hive. I love the idea of
Smart.
I love the idea of just the idea of the collaboration. Everyone's equal. Everyone is working hard to boost everyone else in a hive, right? It's not a single, and I really want these small businesses because we have so many businesses. And you're one of them. I'm one of them. Carla's one of them. So many small business owners that are just grinding all alone. They don't have support. They don't have mentors. They are just trying to make it work. So what I want to do is create a space, not where we're selling to each other, but we're boosting and collaborating with one another.
And you've said that multiple times, and I think it's really important because people will think this is a spot to advertise my business, and you will get the advertising on the back end just by being a good person and a good steward and networking.
Yeah.
Commenting on people's posts, commenting as your business. Oh, let me check this person's business.
I tell people, look, the algorithm will reward good behavior. And what it sees as good behavior is you're commenting and boosting other people's posts. That means that your post will be boosted and commented and reacted to when you make it. So it's a give and take. If you're never commenting and reacting, you're not going to get it back. So it's a give, and then you shall receive type situation. But also just the spirit of these are hardworking they're in the same position I am, and I want to boost them because I want them to succeed. I want them to feel like they have support,
Before we wrap up, can you tell us, I'm putting you on the spot, give us a funny story. In the last 5 weeks, I met so-and-so, and you can't believe what this has done for my business relationship, my personal relationship, or I introduced this person to this person. Like, give us a great anecdote from something that's actually transpired in such a short time.
Gosh, what would be an anecdote? She knows most of the stories. So I'm currently in talks I'm really excited about this, to collaborate with, I'm going to get her name wrong, Ashley from NWA Fashion Week. A collaboration that a year ago I could never have even dreamed of, but we are going to work together to find ways to boost each other.
Incredible.
Yeah, Fashion Week.
It's a big deal here.
Lily Torres from Bentonville Fashion Week. So yeah, that's a collaboration I would never have dreamed.
So they reached out to you through the site and said,
so
hey.
yeah, I ran into Ashley. She's like, oh my God, I've been following you. And I'm like, NWA Fashion Week, you've been following you? Yeah, like so honored. And so yeah. Well, and another one would be Crystal Bridges, and the event team for Crystal Bridges and the Momentary actually reached out and would like me to throw an event for them.
And you've been 5 weeks. Like that, just it's blowing up so quickly.
I mean, well, I think some of it, maybe they were following me when I was just doing singles, but a lot of it's related to the networking. Yes, that's when things just sort of exploded. So yeah, it's wonderful.
When Bobby's here, we bring in high quality guests.
Yeah.
So when people want to find out more about the groups, is it go on to Facebook?
Yeah. Well, Brittany's working. Brittany from Collab Design is working on a website for me. Okay. So again, it's been 5 weeks. So she's working on a website for me. Jamie from Outsource Bookkeeping, like we've been doing getting LLCs and stuff in order because I don't know how to do these things. And so right now it's a Facebook page and an Instagram page, or a Facebook group, and an Instagram page. So NWA Networking Alliance, soon to be Hive Networking. Formerly known.
Broken here on the podcast.
Yeah, formerly known as NWA Networking Alliance. Cool. So yeah, that's how you find us, and soon we'll have TikTok and LinkedIn and stuff. But for now, it's Facebook and Instagram.
Incredible. And we found her through this networking alliance. I mean,
you found her.
Well, I mean, I knew you wouldn't have added any value from that.
No,
guest in.
No, what percentage of the guests that have been on the podcast have been found by you versus anybody else?
98.
No, it can't be 98.
Right.
Well, okay, but let me ask you. Okay, so talking about this is a term I recently used. So watch me be very proud as I say this, because I'm in medicine. Have not been a business person. So your ROI.
Ooh, return on investment.
Yeah. So you invested in making a post in my group page.
Yep.
What would you say has been your return on that?
So we're in season 2, and so we're probably 80 or 90 episodes in. And I know a lot of people, but I don't know that many people. And my co-hosts and permanent guests, they're amazing, but they don't help. Yeah. Shout out to those two who don't do anything but be here and amazing.
I do very little also.
So it's like, all right, well, I'm trying to find other cool businesses, but I literally have been knocking on doors, going to bars and restaurants. Hey, do you want to be on our podcast? We're too busy. So all of a sudden, I got like 30 inbound messages of people saying, I want to be on your podcast. Now, of the 30, not every one of them is something that
you're, of course, right?
But immediately, between you and Stu from Stu's Clean Cooking, I'm like, just like that, we have two people that
are very interesting.
And my inbox is filled with tons of people that are going to want to come on the podcast.
I mean, the list.
So the ROI is huge.
Hey, listen, I can.
One post.
Another thing that I really love to do is I love to help out. I can give you so many people that would be honored to be on this podcast. I somehow in the last year have met just some incredible minds. And I would love to help you find new people. I think I can do that.
This might get our followers up above 20.
Potentially. Well, she
So
she had a
we
big
change it to the Q Team podcast?
No, we can't.
Oh, the Queenie B.
The Queenie B?
Okay, can you just add an E right there?
There you go. I will
Season
say,
3.
I will say this podcast could have gone down a very different road. I hesitate to even bring it up.
Uh-oh.
So I've mentioned a couple of times to my wife Corey.
Yes.
We are, and this is a big step for me, Josh. We're Potterheads. We like the Harry Potter movies. We enjoy them.
Oh.
We're fans.
I didn't know where this was going.
Yeah, we're fans of the Potter movies. We have 2 dogs, Luna, for those of you and Queenie
Oh.
from the Fantastic Beasts movie, which is like Josh, you wouldn't.
Yeah, Queenie.
It's so
The blonde, right?
that's why I was curious why the name, and the chess piece makes a lot of sense. But I was curious if it was going to be a Harry Potter reference.
I had no idea where this was going.
But you know, you're comparing Queenie B to the Queenie, the dog, and it's like, is that going to insult somebody? Is she going to?
Yeah, most people assume that
leave
it's
in
Queen
tears.
B, which now I'm leaning into the B
Queen
thing. But
B,
no.
sure.
Yeah, most people, but it's BE, but yeah. So yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, let's get you some followers.
I love it.
There you go.
Well, and we do have a good group. We have a good following here. We do good.
Yeah, in reality, how many listeners and followers do you have? Like all jokes aside, I feel you're being super humble, but
No, we do well. They don't share the metrics with us, but in fairness, like Matt Mars, he's here. He's part of his brother Dave's on HGTV Fiction a Fabulous show, so he's got a pretty good following. And I've been around the community forever. Jim is a super funny guy, and Rob is Rob. Rob has no value. Rob has no value. So typically,
That's not true, Rob. If anybody is the mayor of Bentonville, it's us.
So we're giving ourselves grief that we say we don't have followers. We have a pretty good following. It's not at the level that you have, but you'll start to see. I mean, it's and we have Dave Mars has been on, JD Mars has been on, and Blakeman's been on. Like we had a good group of people that have been on the podcast.
Yeah,
and now we have you.
Well, thank you. Oh God, putting me in the same category as those is I'm very humbled, but. Yeah, I mean, but here's what I know is that you've worked hard for it. Like
Yes.
you are just like so many businesses, you are grinding, and people say, "Oh, all you're doing is filming a podcast," and you put it out. No.
But we're doing what you're doing. We
so
are here to help other businesses network. Like that's what we're doing, and we're having people meet other people. We're doing it in a different medium than you are.
Yeah. Well, hey, I can literally give me a pen and paper. I can write down the name of 50 people that I think you would be honored to have on your podcast, and they probably would love to do it. So
Please send them to Josh.
count on me to be one of your fans.
Well, we're honored that you've been here today.
Thank
you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
So excited to have you.
Yeah, continued success.
Oh my God! Yes.
Cheers.
Thank you.